whether you're using EdTech tools regularly or you work for a company that develops EdTech tools, I think you're pretty familiar with the life cycle of EdTech tools and how they evolve over time. And we're at the point where we're very used to utilizing a lot of different EdTech tools over the last several years and seen them evolve with the technology that's available. So I wanted to make a video that basically dug into the EdTech product life cycle and at the same time took into consideration some of the new technology that is impacting the EdTech product life cycle. And I wanted to make a video that could both think about the product life cycle, think about the things we want to see in EdTech tools and why, and at the same time think about how this process can also be used to evaluate the quality and effectiveness of an EdTech tool. So I want to take a deep dive into the EdTech product life cycle on its own and just think about the impact it has and what's impacting it as well. So the very first stage is essentially identifying the educational need or problem that the product solves. For classroom teachers, this usually comes across as a, wow, I can't believe this tool helps me do, this one thing that I've always had trouble doing, or it's taken up a lot of time in my day, and now this tool satisfies this. Or for an administrator or another user, it allows them to maybe analyze data in a way or process something they've never been able to do before as quickly as efficiently, or manage resources more efficiently as possible. Essentially, it's the identify the problem. An EdTech tool will address a problem or need that a school, a student, or a educator will have effectively. It's going to basically solve the big question, why is it needed? And essentially do it in a way that no one else has done it before as effectively, or it could be an improvement upon an existing tool. So one example of this is like a learning management system that now integrates AI to assist with analyzing assessment data from students, or utilizes it to help identify opportunities for personalized learning or additional assessments based on data that's fed into it. Basically, it's any tool that has been improved by the use of new technology as well is a good example. But we've also seen examples of just modifications like Edpuzzle as an assessment tool, utilizing video to create an assessment. It could be just an improvement over how a traditional assessment is provided. The stage where the problem's being identified, it's also important that feedback's taken from educators and students and others to understand whether or not the product's going to be effective at the feedback stage. Is the price at a good place? Are there features that are wanted or needed or recommended? Input's important just to help refine the product a bit, see what's possible. At this point, it's also possible to refine the product to whether it's digital curriculum standard or traditional standards, opportunities to tie the product specifically to learning standards so that there's a direct tie to educational outcomes and what the product aims to do, just to make it a bit more grounded in its approach. So the next phase that could be considered here, with the EdTech product life cycle is research and planning. So input's been collected, the problem that it serves to solve has been identified, and now it's a little bit of doing a little bit of analysis of competitors, products that maybe do the same thing or do things the same way but a little bit differently. What does the landscape of competitors look like? And just for someone making and just for also someone working on an EdTech product, just as someone works on an EdTech product, it's also an opportunity. After an educator has tried a product, they should then also try other products that try to do the same thing before they commit too deeply. And specifically before a purchasing cycle with a product, a new contract, utilizing a trial at this point can be pretty effective. And also the EdTech products should consider that as well, that educators are going to approach their product at this stage just the same way as they are when looking at competitors. With the product, is it gonna, what do other products have as a selling point early on that might shift someone toward more of a trial or a commitment to a product? One thing I'm thinking of here is just getting started faster with SSO, single sign-on through a Google account, as opposed to having to create a traditional login, or being an extension that is easy to integrate, or solving a very specific need in order to get into other potential solution opportunities. While mapping the competition, also this is a time in which you're also going to map out the journey of the user, from the student who's accessing it to the teacher who's using it to the administrator who's potentially using it, from all of those different views. And this can be mapped out the top level to the admin who's purchasing the program, setting up the infrastructure for the use of the program, thinking about how each user role is being trained from the teacher perspective to the student perspective. What are the essential skills that are going to need to be utilized with the use of this tool? Are there gaps in the skill sets of the users that need to be addressed or identified? Are there additional resources and materials that need to be either provided to the user to understand how to use it at each stage? And that's a key part, because as part of the user journey, the tool needs to be supported. You don't want to have users who are unfamiliar with where to go next or how to do something at a critical stage. Nothing's worse than trying a product being sold, a specific idea or thought process around the benefits of the product, and then just hitting a wall in terms of implementation, whether it's uploading a data set or syncing a data set to make it work effectively, or having it work in a way that you initially planned on, or having students fail at being able to use it effectively, or having students not be able to use it effectively, or this teacher not be able to use it effectively, or struggle using it. There needs to be a streamlined process, understanding how that's going to look, and also this consideration around adoption. It's going to be an easy product to adopt. Some of the modern considerations at this stage to consider in English language learners, special education, and assistive technologies that need to be integrated to make the product accessible by all learners. Are there AI tutors that need to be integrated? AI chatbots to support? Does any of the platform need to be adaptive to students? Do any of the platforms need to be adaptive to any of the users? Is there the need for multilingual support at any stage of using the product? And accessibility is a huge feature here, just making sure that all users find the product to be accessible so they can be used effectively. It's also important at this stage to consider modern pedagogical models here and learning trends. Is there a need at this moment? Is there a big demand for this product to be implemented in a flipped classroom or a more personalized learning classroom? How is the product going to be used? And what's the vision for that? Is it going to be used more by students at home or those in a traditional classroom? That truck sounds horrible. Just letting it pass me. My goodness. So, next stage is design and development. A product at this stage requires collaboration with design and user experience designers to make sure that the interface is designed in a way that's not only fresh, clean, but allows users to interact with it seamlessly. They understand the next step of the process of each stage of utilizing the product. Things make sense and are easy to find and locate. At this stage, also prototypes can be built to better understand the user experience, also to understand the scalability of the product and what are potential issues with the products being used by the user groups. So at this stage, tools and no code. So at this stage, tools like Figma, AI tools like Perplexity and ChatGPT can be used to help support the vision for the development of the tool. So understanding feedback loops and prototyping the user experience is really essential here. At this stage, you also want to make sure that interoperability with other tools and platforms like Google Classroom or other learning management systems or platforms, as well as data privacy, are kept in mind. So when I pick up the video again, we're going to start at testing and feedback. Finally, the weather is better. All right, switch up the afternoon now because you have light. Next stage is the EdTech product lifecycle is the growth towards monitoring or adoption cycle. How are they using it? How are they getting started with the product? And with this, the possibility of utilizing AI and trends of adoption is important. And also, it's looking at trends across tech. From a teacher perspective, you want to be seeing, engagement and frequency. Another important part of this is to monitor customer support effectiveness. This can be done with AI chatbots, like come across product adoption cycle, and also being able to respond to particular product needs as your client base begins forming this point, or you're going to be looking for ways to support educator. It's really important to have answers that are effective and work for your customer base. Utilizing AI or any other tool allows you to prepare responses that are quick, that audience. It's a great thing. And the most important is to monitor learning outcomes. Now, both the EdTech product company and for the user, these essentials is what it's all about, right? Which maybe has a high level of provide a lot of value. Those that can provide analytics in specific areas to support a wide range of educators. I think that's one of the new challenges that I think some people aren't necessarily sure. I think you have two spectrums. You have people who absolutely know what they want to measure, and then you have those who are not quite sure. So I think it's important in this product life cycle to make sure you come across those who know what they need their needs, or you have strategies for meeting their needs. Those who aren't quite sure, you have how does the product work on memory and tracking. So this means that student data is going to be collected, usage data. Now let's talk about step 5. This is all about reviewing sustainability. And I think for most EdTech products that I've seen, this is where they have the most trouble. Once you get beyond the initial satisfaction with the product, where you try or isn't as important as it used to be, was the fascination with pivoting. Products can get scaled pretty quickly if they can't pivot or adapt. So they can't grow into the maturity stage without some sort of adaptation to the market. There's opportunities here. Utilizing blockchain technology, credentialing, also secure credentialing. Credentialing using for assessments, and also secure credentialing. The EdTech market are all part of providing a high quality value that is sustainable. And thinking about sustainability in the long term, I think is the best. One thing that I think products sometimes do very well, and also sometimes have a challenge with, is monitoring and adapting to trends in the market. Product needs to adapt like AI, like that puzzle, like I mentioned before, or components for use in the platform. Now that does present, additionally like sometimes privacy, but it was adapting and pivoting in time to meet the market trends, because here comes much that essentially have AI as their core feature and ebb and flow in and out of the market trend. I think it's important to understand how the trends of your competitors, basically determine your market, are generally looking for kind of the shiny. And so I think it's a balance of being grounded in your solution and serving a purpose that you know a majority of users value, which I think comes from market data. You don't want to burn the people who help you get where you convert with your product, but at the same time, I think you need to think about the value of your product. Develop an app, onboarding of the product, and then the app, yes, allow them to have a features added to their dashboard, but at the end of the day, really add value. Really has added value. And that's the problem with pivoting, is sometimes you're pivoting away from. One of the biggest challenges, which at this stage is also the ongoing analysis of which is actionable for success, long-term success of your product. And are you able to utilize the real-time feedback in ways that is more powerful than ever because of social media and the ability to ethically share sense. And product feature, help learn about it. But I've always been shocked that the products don't try to utilize more in-depth adapter programs and more in-depth products that can be demonstrated to a broader audience. That put up here, showcase the product point and get it really quick. Try it out. Try the product. Try the product is a really important piece, and I think from that over or undersold point, I can see how it felt. And then look for the features that I thought it would have, or I thought it could use. And either it did or it didn't, or I just didn't clear. And that's all it needs. All you need to try your product. AI-powered analysis is understanding how valuable the data can be for different segments of our groups that plug data from. I do think the maturity stage is, of course, the most difficult part of the process, but I think there are many opportunities in the maturity stage that can ship a product. There's definitely opportunities, just like in life, as we all mature, right? We don't just cut ourselves off, we find ways to adapt and push ourselves to figure out the same thing with the product. Like, we have moved out pretty quickly. Keep that in mind. So, that's my overview of the EdTech product cycle. I think, I know educators who evaluate products definitely life cycle in terms of their workflow, in terms of how they find value. And it's the same way in which a EdTech company finds value with their customers, is that they're addressing that user. They're addressing that group also in very specific tasks. But now, the AI focuses on privacy, security, and also just being able to best products, like understanding the target market, who you're addressing, performing a SWOT analysis, and updating, developing the privacy. Check out the video.